Sophie for Wireless Magazine and I'm here with Phil Daniels. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Good.
Now, I know that you're more into golfing these days than rocking out, so how hard was it for you to get into that zone of being a punk rocker?
No, it's something that's always there, you know. I still play guitar a bit at home and I'm doing a show now where I sing in it, so it's always there or thereabouts, you know.
I know that they asked you to contribute to the soundtrack and also lyrically as well. Did
Yes.
that help you kind of engage with the character and the role?
It did a bit because it meant, you know, I was writing songs while we were doing it and we were all, you know, I was playing with Mike and recording with Mike while we were doing it. So it was all happening for real. So that helped Johnny Jones feel, you know, like he was coming home.
Why have we got to move into this dump?
Because you've got to look like a real band.
What's that got to do with us shacking up together?
For this to work, it's got to appear like you spent every waking hour together, rehearsed endlessly, slept on top of one another in the tour van, done everything else an upstart band has done.
When you're on stage with like your best mate to your side and then all the other characters on stage with you, do you think, actually, I could get used to this, maybe I might start up a band? Or...
Yeah, I always feel like that,
Yeah.
and I always feel, I never do it, but I often feel like that, yeah, that really it's a much easier way of making, a nicer way of making a living and treading the boards and having no electric guitars behind you. The DJ thinks the single shots are the kind of hot young band the record companies are looking for.
Yeah, but it's not them, it's us. And what a stupid bloody name.
We're too old.
Who did you look to kind of for the stance that you had on stage and the way you held the mic and that sort of thing? What rock stars or punk stars?
Well, I didn't really. I mean, I just sort of, a little bit of Townsend, I suppose, with jumping up and down, and I just kind of went for what I felt, you know, what the music did.
Yeah.
So I made him a bit, he jumped about a bit, moved a lot, didn't he?
He did, he gave it some, didn't
He gave it some. And Perry was a bit cooler, and Keith was, I mean, Keith had his bass really low, didn't he? And that's what you're meant, if you've got a high guitar, you're a bit of a twit, aren't you?
Look a bit geeky, don't you?
Yeah, and it's not good with a high guitar,
Yeah.
apparently.
So did you feel quite cool then?
I felt all right, but it's hard to play a guitar really low, you know, I
is that?
find.
Logistically? Or just
Logistically, to
muscle-wise?
play it, it's
Yeah.
hard, so there you go.
Do you work out a bit to prepare yourself then?
What, in the pub?
Oh, whatever works.
Yeah, yeah.
Who are some of your influences?
Weapons of Happiness,
Weapons of happiness.
The Kinks, Sex Pistols, Johnny Thunders, lots and lots
Can
of
you let
different...
them speak?
Yeah, Johnny, let us speak. Nick Astley. Aerosmith.
Buzzcock.
Slipknot. Vampire Weekend.
Duran Duran.
Really? Because you don't sound anything like the bands you say have
Well,
influenced.
Des O'Connor influenced me, but that don't mean I wrote Dick a Dum Dum.
You don't write anything anymore though, do you?
How are you?
Yeah, good, yeah. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. Now, I watched a film this morning. How's it feel to have it out now? Because it was a labour of love for both of you. Is it relief, excitement?
We're just happy. It's out, aren't we, darling?
Yeah. It was like 3 years ago, wasn't it?
It's 2.5.
2.5.
When you get to my age, that 6 months means a lot.
Oh. You did it on quite a shoestring budget though, didn't you? In hindsight, do you think actually that was a good thing because it made it authentic and relatable? And...
God, I mean, I know that Jamie's going to have a different answer because being ushered around and having to beg, steal and borrow for his per diems or if you
Yeah,
even
I bet,
got any and things like that, you know. So for me it was brilliant because the theme, you know, not the theme but the world of it is punk and kind of do it yourself, I guess, is a theme, like to do it yourself, and so the actual texture of it and the practice of it related to the theme. We lived it. So yeah, I was happy.
It was a bit harsh, wasn't it? Audience is harsher.
If you've got like a small budget as well, it's like, you know that everyone's there for the right reason.
Yeah, that
Do you know
is
what I mean?
really
No one's
true.
there like, you know, just to grab a paycheck. Everyone's
Yeah.
there and just, you know, and it's like that. Everyone kind of comes together when you've got a small crew and just wants to get to the end and do it good, I guess.
Now, when you saw Jamie, did you think he's got that rebellious, slightly cocky punk streak in him, or did you have to act that completely? Was it
I
really
didn't
you?
see him as rebellious, funny enough. I because we didn't have a casting director, I couldn't, like, you know, swap ideas, who are the new guys coming up, blah, blah, blah. But I just looked through YouTube and found this blog that Jamie was in. He was in a play in the West End, Spring Awakening, and his whole, like, first of all, he looked brilliant. Second of all, he followed that through, like, you know, he was doing a blog, a video blog, and you could see who he was as a person and how he sat inside himself, and he was naturally cool. He didn't have to try at it. And I didn't see him as rebellious. I just saw him as really cool. And I don't know, it was an instinctive response. It was just like, that's him. Offer him the job.
How much are we getting paid for this?
You pull this off, trust me, you'll be raking in thousands.
Yeah, but what's our percentage? I want a contract.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, and I want a solicitor to look over my contract, please.
And me.
You're not here because of your talent, so don't get any bright ideas. You look good, that's all. Now pick up your instruments.
So I sit at home thinking up ideas to work with Jamie, like writing
We just
like
came up
ideas.
with one a minute ago.
It was his idea.
Can
Yeah,
you
but
give us an exclusive, the Wireless Magazine, an exclusive, just
Yeah,
to round up?
go on.
you're going to write something where I play a transvestite?
What perfect way to end the interview.
No, there you go.
There you go.